I hardly need to tell you where we are, out at my favourite spot, the old settlement. So I'm back out here, I'm back at my little spot I've been hounding out for a few trips now, and had a 14 down here. And that's how she was. I saw that in the wall and I thought, that looks like a bit of cutlery. And sure enough, it's a spoon. But it was buried completely vertical, which is, I don't know, a bit unusual. Anyway, the old spoon. So that's our first find. And how she ever got buried straight up like that, I don't know. Now just back here away is where I found the ring and the brooch thing last video, or hopefully the last video. If I get too much footage out here, I might have to, this might be the second video. But anyway, had a 7 down here. And apart from that spoon, I've only dug a button and rubbish. So had a 7. Oh yeah, bit of scrap. Right, let's keep going. However, if we have a little closer look, it is light brass, but there is something on there. Just a pattern, I think. A sort of a shieldy pattern. So I think we'll give it a clean. Whether it's the face off a locket or something, I don't know. I can't see any writing on it, but it has got a pattern. So let's clean it up and see what we've got. Well, I don't know that that's much better, but anyway, got a bit of the dirt off. So we've just got a shield with some floral, flowery stuff around it. So that is all I can see. So don't know what that was. Sort of oval shaped, like it could have been a locket or something. Anyway, it's a nice little bit of brass, but I don't think we're going to be able to straighten it out without it breaking in half. Spied something in the leaves here. I don't know how long it's been there, whether someone's thrown it there or it's been sitting there for years and got uncovered, but it's a glass cork just sitting there. And even better is it has writing on it. So what way up are we here? Something Lee and S. Perrin. The story goes that the Mayor of Bengal, on returning to Worcester, England from a trip to India, brought a recipe to 2 Victorian chemists, John Lee and William Perrins. They made the recipe and decided it tasted disgusting and put it down in their cellar. Years later, cleaning up the cellar, they found these bottles and they tried it again, and after years of stewing down there, it now tasted delicious. The company was formed in 1837, and yes, they made Worcestershire sauce. This particular cork was introduced in the 1840s and continued to be used until the late 1950s. Now, I'm in this spot where I found that cork on the top of the ground, and there's a few signals in here, so I dug a tarp eyelet, you know, how exciting. But anyway, I've got another signal here, so let's hope it's something better than a tarp eyelet. About a 2019, so kind of the right numbers for a tarp eyelet, but let's see what it is. Don't know if we've got anything out, but I think we may have. What is that? Bit of metal of some sort. May even have something written on that, you know. You can see an E. So I'll give it a clean and see if we can read anything, but it may not come up that well. But anyway, let's see what it says. I do know what that is, you know. That is the plate off a mouth organ, but it's the outside plate, not the reeds. Registered by, I think it's W-E-I-S-S, Weiss, however you'd say that, and made in Germany, and it's in the key of F. So you always find the plates, the reed bits, but not that often you come across the outside covers. Anyway, that's a Weiss, made in Germany, key of F. Chasing a 16 down here. Looks like we've got a key of some sort. An old clock or something. So we will give it a clean, but I don't know if it's going to clean up that well, but we'll give it a bit of a brush and make sure there's no writing on it. Could be one off the back of a big old alarm clock maybe. It's not really cleaning up very well, but I don't think there's any writing on it. So we'll just leave it at that, and I'll clean it up better at home. Get a bit more severe. It's a nice little key. Little dog ears on it. I'm digging a lot of lower numbers today, so I'm getting a lot of little bits and pieces which, you know, some of them I think should I show you, shouldn't I? But anyway, we'll do a big old, grand old reveal in the wrap up of all the bits and pieces we find. You know, crusty buttons, bits of brass, bits of this, bits of that. Anyway, I had a 20 down here, and it was pretty quiet and not a really good signal, but popped him up. Whoops! I may have just found a halfpenny, so I reckon I've just given you a little nick there, but we can see Queen Victoria there. There's a bun head, so let's see if we can get a date on this side. Slowly getting there. I reckon we've got 94. I reckon 1894. So there we go. A Britannia halfpenny. Now I have sort of been mooching along, and I'm back up to where over here is where I found the Coles token. So in this area, going over a bit slower with a little coil, picking up little, you know, low signals, and also all the iffier ones. So it does pay to go back over the ground and just take a bit more time. And there we go, we were rewarded with a halfpenny. 14, and we have got a button. So I'll see what that one is. If it's got writing on it, I think it does. Let's see if we can get a bit of dirt off it. And got no sunlight to help us here. I'll see if I can zoom up and decipher that. I think that says suspender. So that's in one of those suspender buttons. And there's some kind of patterny thing down here. Anyway, not a super common button. I think that's about the second one I've found out here, but I've, not found them before. But anyway, suspender button. Digging little scraps of lead and little bits and pieces, and I've got a bit of a higher number here, so we'll try live digging it. Up around 19. So it could be just a bigger bit of rubbish, or could even be a Britannia coin, because they sort of ring around the lower numbers. So we'll see what it is. Still down here. And I've seen something there. Don't know what it is. Don't know what it is. It doesn't really look that. Actually, that's an impression. Ah, there we go. It's one of our favourite old Devonport bottle stoppers. I don't know how many of those I've found out here now, but quite a lot. So they obviously loved their old Devonport aerated water. Bit of a sparkle to on a hot day. Can't really blame them. So anyway, Devonport obviously did a good trade out here. Well, I've got to say, a little coil, and I've now found coins here going back over ground, just going really slowly and just picking up all those little signals in amongst the rubbish. Now over there is where I got the Devonport thing, and I had another 1819 here, and I thought it'll be another one. So I had the old conundrum: will I film it or will I, just trying to get my shovel to stick in, will I film it or will I just dig it? And I decided I'd just dig it and see what it was. So anyway, there's an old bit of bottle, but our little signal here flipped out, and there it is, another coin. It's going to be another halfpenny, I'd say. Another Britannia. Trying to see, there we go. Trying to see our date here. I should not be lazy and give it a clean, but if we can just get a date, we can worry about cleaning it later. 1896. Now, as you might be able to see, maybe, it's a different sort of smaller date there, so it's a different design one, and can't really see him there. I believe that's still Queen Victoria, 1896. Tell you what, I'll give them a clean and I'll get the other one out and I'll put them side by side and have a comparison. So be back in a tick. There's what I meant about the difference. You can see the size in the date there. So 1894 to 1896. One is the bun head. Oops. One is the bun head, and then they've changed the design a little bit, and that one is the veiled head there. Can't really see it that well, but anyway. So anyway, it's just a bit interesting. So that one is a lot clearer than the new newer, smaller date, but anyway. Now, I have been having a bit of a button fest, been digging button after button after button, which, not bad. I haven't been filming them, but I will show you this one just because it's so clear. I don't have to clean up too much. Never seen it before, but anyway, Equinox, how do you say that? Melbourne. So, not seen that one before. There's a little one, been painted black, I'd say. Mondola Henry Kino was born in Poland in 1850 and moved to Australia and opened a tailor shop in Melbourne in 1891. He continued this till his death in 1914 when his son Edward Kino took over until the business closed in 1939. At an 18 down here, it was a fairly quiet little signal, down a fair way, and we've got that. And I reckon that is an old Zippo lighter or something of the sort. So I'll give it a clean and see if there's anything on it. She's a bit sad and sorry, but I'll give it a clean and see if there's actually anything on it. I could be wrong. She is absolutely falling to bits before, if I breathe too hard it'll fall to bits. So I don't know if it's going to even make it home. We've got these clippy sort of thing that's been fastened in the bottom here. I don't think it actually is a lighter. I reckon it could be some kind of match dispenser because on the bottom I've got a striker sort of looking thing. So I reckon they would have been the old non-safety matches, wax vestas perhaps, but I cannot see any kind of writing on there, so unless it's still hiding in the dirt there. But there is a sort of a lip around there, so it looks like it's had a lid at some stage, and I don't quite know what these are for, but anyway. Well, if you've got the small coil, the patience, the time, quite often just poking around, found coins and stuff here, just pulling out all the low numbers is quite rewarding. So, after that wax vesta thing, we had a 13, and we've got that, which is one of the less common little round buttons. That is cool. So I'd say it would be off a lady's dress or something, but I'll give it a quick clean and make sure there's nothing on it, but if there isn't, I'll just keep going. But that is rather cool. Never had one of these ring up so high, but it was a fair way down. I'll see what it rings up at now actually. Yeah, in the 20s now. I was up to 39 before, but obviously just the depth was throwing everything off. But here's one of our common sort of suspender buckles. Common to older sites, you might say. So I can't see anything too extraordinary about it, so we'll just clean it up at home. I'd nearly say there's Paris on there somewhere, or primer or something of the sort, but anyway, one of those in the side of the track here. Last time I was out here I got that bit of fragile jewellery stuff up here. I've been coming down here and I've been getting rubbish and buttons. So I've sort of been following it downhill. There's a bit of a groove running through there which is like a drain. So I don't know whether that was done for a drain off a building or whether it was done afterwards. But anyway, a bit of crockery, a bit of glass, buttons. So I've been coming down here. Had a 20 in the trees here. Doesn't that look nice? Little 20. Might be going to be halfpenny day today. Halfpenny and button. So we'll give that one a clean and see what kind of coin we've got. So we're back in a tick, we'll give that a clean. Now we have got a bunhead Queen Victoria there. So that half gives us an idea of date. And on the other side we've got that, which is going to be pretty hard to scratch a date out on there. So Bunhead Queen Victoria, I'm guessing it's going to be 1870 to 1890 something, 1860 possibly, but we may be able to get a date off, but we'll worry about that at home. So anyway, Bunhead Queen Victoria, halfpenny. We've got a little ring thing, a hanger of something. It's a nice little old one there. Look at the way the screw's been cut into that. So anyway, it's been a long time since that's hung anything, I think. Here we are in the wrap-up. I originally planned this and another later hunt as one video, but it's sort of got too long, so we're gonna pull this one up here, call it part 1, and part 2 will be coming with the grand wrap-up of these 2 hunts, so stay tuned for part 2.